Today, we're going to be talking about building play into the classroom curriculum. This presentation is by Josie, Mary, Danielle, and Jennifer. When talking about play in education, Vygotsky's theory of play is a good place to start. We chose a quote by Vygotsky himself that we think really encompasses what play means to children. In play, a child always behaves beyond his average age, above his daily behavior. In play, it is as though he were a head taller than himself. In class, we talked about Vygotsky's theories on the benefits of imaginative play to the development of young children. In play, a child is able to become things and perform tasks that might be impossible for them outside of play. For example, in a pretend play universe, each child must follow strict rules based on the character they chose or were assigned, in order to fulfill all their duties in the imagined storyline. In class, a child may have difficulty following rules, but when they play, they're teaching themselves to follow strict rules without even knowing that they're doing it. For example, the girl in the picture pretending to be a veterinarian. A veterinarian is a really intense job, and she is extremely focused on fixing up that stuffed dog who is very sick. To do this job, she can't just do whatever she wants. She has to be a veterinarian, and she has to follow very strict rules that she created in this universe. And that is teaching her to follow strict rules in other parts of her life and will go on into the school environment. And since we've touched on the topic of the benefits of play, let's go deeper into the different types of play we can see in the classroom. First is structured play, which has clearly defined goals and rules. Many types of games are structured play. Some are educational and some are not. But the games that are educational can be put into the classroom and are very beneficial to the students. Next is social play, where play involves interacting with others in activities. This helps children to develop their social skills and learn social rules, which is vital for them later in life. On the other hand, we have individual play, where a child plays without interacting with others. They play by themselves. An example of this could be educational computer games or toys in the classroom that don't require multiple students in order to be played with. Individual play isn't any less beneficial than social play. It's just beneficial in different ways, especially to those students who are more introverted. Next is pretend or imaginative play, which we talked about a little bit when talking about Vygotsky's theory of education. Imaginative play is where a child invents scenarios from their imagination. This allows them to try out those new scenarios and roles and be something that they can't be in real life. Then we have constructive play, where children use their imagination and objects in their environment to create something. An example of this is sand or block structures. Last, we have motor and physical play, which is exactly as it sounds. Physical play that gets children up and moving, which is great for young children as a brain break and to help them focus, but also helps them develop physically. It's also a very popular type of play for older grades. Since we've talked about building play into the curriculum, talking about the teacher's role in play is extremely important and beneficial to us as future teachers. A teacher's first role is to supervise the behavior of their students, to make sure that the play is safe and beneficial. Next is to extend academic concepts learned from lessons. In simpler terms, this means to create activities that reinforce information taught in a lesson through play. An example of this could be when a teacher is giving a lesson about money and currency in early childhood education. After the lesson, they may have some constructed playtime where children pretend play like they run a bank, to reinforce what they just learned about currency. The children are getting very meaningful learning, and they're reusing the information they just learned, but they're also having fun and viewing it as a game and play more so than a lesson. Next is to model and support social and problem-solving tools. This could be done in the creation of play, for example, creating and choosing specific games that either require problem solving to be completed or use social play to show the students social tools. Next is to guide students through communications. Play can foster communication within students, but they'll definitely need help sometimes. And our role as future teachers is to help them when they need it so they're able to do it by themselves later on. Last is to provide a way to develop creativity and allow students to express themselves. This one is extremely important, and allowing for imaginative play in the curriculum is a fun and easy way to do this. In older grades that won't use imaginative play very meaningfully, another way to do this is to incorporate physical play that involves music and dancing. This allows them to express their creativity and express themselves. Games provide brain breaks for students as well. The students get a fun break from schoolwork that either uses their brains in different ways, such as the two pictures on the right, or gets them up and moving, such as the picture on the left. In either type of play, the students are excited to get a break from schoolwork, but the activities they're doing are beneficial to their learning. Aside from brain breaks, children also develop skills during different types of play that they'll use later on in their school, career, and lives. First is problem solving. There are many games that are geared towards this exact skill, and many of them are able to be downloaded as apps that kids love. Don't be afraid of technology in your classroom. If your school provides it, take advantage of it. Many games can be downloaded that children find engaging and fun, and studies show that they're educational and promote problem-solving abilities as well. Second is communication. Many games, especially imaginative games, promote communication in between individuals to figure out the details of a created universe and the roles therein. There are also specific team-building games that students will find extremely exciting, but will also require them to communicate to achieve the goal. Next is leadership and confidence. Some children will automatically take the leader roles in imaginative play all of the time. But to foster leadership and confidence in students who don't usually exhibit those traits, many imaginative games could be played where every student has the chance and the ability to be in a leadership position and therefore to build up their confidence. Next, play fosters creativity, expression, and identity. Especially in active play that involves music and dancing, students are able to express themselves artistically and creatively. They're able to express themselves and their identity through that. Last is self-regulation. We touched on this in Vygotsky's theory of play when we talked about how students are teaching themselves to follow strict rules and pretend universes, so it'll be easier for them in the classroom. Another example of this is through games that have a specific goal. Students have to have the self-regulation to complete all the necessary tasks involved in the game to achieve that goal. And this chart goes into more detail over the ways that play at school develops children. There's 4 main components: physical development, cognitive development, emotional development, and social development. In physical development, play helps children develop strong, healthy bodies, coordination, stress management, physical confidence, fine and large motor skills, and agility. In cognitive development, students are developing scientific and mathematical thinking, language skills, literacy skills, research and inquiry skills, and independent thinking. In the social development, children are developing cooperation, negotiation, collaboration, socialization, rules of formation, and conflict resolution, all very important skills. Then in emotional development, the students are developing empathy, impulse control, self-regulation, persistence, resilience, self-confidence, and joy. As you can see from everything in the chart, these skills aren't just skills that are going to help them in school. They're going to help them in school, in their careers, and the rest of their lives. For example, conflict resolution is something used throughout your entire life. Empathy, self-confidence, language skills. This just furthers the point that play at school is extremely beneficial to children and teachers in their learning. So these were the references that we used for the information in our presentation. And lastly, we just went over the importance of play in education, and incorporating play into your curriculum as a teacher can be extremely beneficial to your students as well as to you. And we hope that you enjoyed the presentation, that you learned something from it, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask us in class. Thank you.